Okay, so today I would like to discuss about the business plan. So as I explained you before, this is basically what we do in ATHENASIA. So I was planning to introduce myself here, but as I just did it there, maybe we'll just skip this slide. Now, first question to you guys, what is a business plan? You most likely heard of it before somewhere, somehow, maybe did one. Anybody want to try? The vision of the company. Yeah, what else? How do you achieve your goals? Right? Yeah. Which customer are you targeting? Yeah. What else? How you will make some profit? Okay. What else? Okay. Focusing the future. Yeah. This is really what is it about. Actually, a business plan is really simple. It's actually, the definition is in the wording. It's a plan for your business. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So as soon as you get a plan for your business, you already have a business plan. Now the format might be different. I mean, obviously, if you prepare a business plan for a bank meeting, or if you prepare a business plan for meeting an angel, or if you prepare a business plan to meet a big fund for raising like 10-20 million US dollar to go for an IPO or something like that, that's another story. It's really different, okay? In terms of format, but the structure is always really similar. So today in 15 minutes, I don't have too much time to actually go really deep inside the business plan. So what I would like to do is actually talk about the structure. What are the common elements you will find in a business plan all the time, okay? So the first thing, the central part of your business plan actually is what? What else? ID, vision?
A client.
Yeah, maybe a client. Well, maybe from the angel. Natalie. The project tree. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, you start on the product or serving side. To me, the most important part of the business plan to start with is the entrepreneur, is the person behind the business plan. If you see somebody that actually has a great idea, but I don't know, there is something weird about that person, there will be no investment into this business most of the time. The angels always tell you they invest as much into the business, they invest in the person behind the business. So actually, what is really important and sometimes a bit forgotten within the business plan is to talk about the entrepreneurs. Who's the person behind the plan? Who's the person behind the idea? Why are you so competent to actually run this business plan? So first thing, the entrepreneur. The other thing is a mix of analysis, plan, and opportunity. So each time I meet a client that has an idea or want a plan, we are always somewhere there, you know. It's like either he said, look, I have this idea. Like I had a client recently that set up education center, actually connected to Charles. Yeah, so she actually ran the venue and she's about to open in 2 months' time. So actually, when she approached me, she said, Laurent, I really have a passion for kids and I want to do something about kids. I want to do something about changing the way kids do their homework. And she was truly passionate about, but she had no idea about how to make it happen. So she wanted to work into something. So what we had to do is a bit going through the analysis, not going straight to the plan, but going through the analysis, see what is possible within this industry, what we can do there. Okay, I won't go in depth into the analysis today, if not we will never finish. After doing this analysis, and sometimes even before people realize that there is an opportunity in the market, they may realize, hey look, there is these Uber things that I heard about, but there is no Uber for a vehicle with 3 wheels in a third world country, as you said it before. Maybe there's something to do there. So you realize there's an opportunity. And from this opportunity, then you can come back to the analysis, or then you can start a little bit planning, okay? I started another business. These guys always tell me I'm stupid about doing that, but I had a client that had the really, really cool products, and I thought there is really something interesting to do about it. And I developed a new I started to research, starting to plan and do the whole thing at the same time. So actually, this analysis, this opportunity, and this plan always goes together. You never really, it's not a process like you start with analysis, then you find out what is your opportunity, then you do your plan. It's basically, you can start in any different place and then come back. Also, when you will plan, you will realize that you get new issue, you may come with new ideas, then you have to go back to your analysis. So this is really a kind of a systemic approach where you have to always come back and go back and forth between your analysis and your plan. What I advise you to do though is that always separate both, because a plan is fucking boring to read. Sorry for my French. I'm not French actually, I'm Belgian, but yeah, I speak French. So it's really annoying things to read. So if you actually separate the analysis, which nobody wants to read initially, and you can just go straight to the plan, people can actually see what you intend to do, and then if they have any question, they can refer to your analysis. So I think this is a good thing to do, to split both. Now let's go a bit more into the details, but not too much details. You gave me 15 minutes, mate, to talk about business plans. So what are the common blocks we'll find in business plan? Okay. So first thing is your vision and mission. So we heard something about vision a bit earlier there. So the first thing you will find in the plan is your vision, is why you are doing what you are doing. Okay. What is the purpose? Why does it make a difference? Why will it somehow change a little bit the world? Okay? You don't have to revolutionize the whole thing, but why it will make an impact? Because if you make zero impact, basically you are useless, and most likely you won't be successful. Okay? So first thing, and also it gives you some passion. It gives you some drive to have a vision. Okay? So the why reason. If you think of somebody really inspiring those days, I'm always really inspired when I listen to his speech. It's Elon Musk. I don't know, you know who is Elon Musk here? Yeah? No? The founder of Tesla, SpaceX, yeah, the guy and that PayPal. Wants to go to, and PayPal as well. So, yeah, just the lambda entrepreneur, if you want. So, yeah. So this guy, what is his vision? Somebody knows what's the vision of Elon Musk? For Tesla, not for everything, like just Tesla, let's make it simple. His vision is actually, in my own words, because I don't remember his quotation, but the vision of Elon Musk is to transition from fossil fuel to electricity, to renewable. Okay, this is what he wants to do. Has nothing to do with Tesla and car, right? It's just transition from fossil fuel to renewable energy. Okay. Now, what is the mission then? Okay, so if your vision is why, what is the mission? Well, the mission will be the what, will be what you do then. Okay, so if you want to make a transition from fossil fuel to renewable, so what is your company doing? You know, what will be your contribution to this vision? And the contribution there will be, in the case of Elon Musk, for example, he decided to actually come up with a car that can replace cars running with diesel or oil engine. Okay, and by doing that, obviously, it will actually help to transition from fossil to renewable. Because if people drive in electric cars, then you don't have fossil fuel vehicle. But after, there is still the question of okay, but how do we generate the electricity? This is also what, yeah. This is also, it's also in his plan somehow. He's actually creating some supercharger that actually works with solar panel. He also have another plan with a company that makes solar panel, and what's the name of this one? You remember? Solar City. Yeah, Solar City. So you put solar panel on the roofs of houses to generate more energy. Sorry?
And planes.
And now he wants to do planes. Yeah. Okay. So this is basically the mission. Then after that, what you look at is your ambition. Like within 3 years' time, some people will say 5, but for most of entrepreneurs, if you already know what's happening to you next year, congratulations. I'm a business planner, I have no idea where my company will be next year. I mean, I have an idea, but most likely it won't be where I think it will be. It's always changing, right? But still, you need to have an ambition, because if you don't know where you are going, most likely you will get there. Okay? So, the first thing is ambition. So ambition is like in 3 years' time where you want to be. So there's several ways to do that. You could actually be really fluffy and say, yeah, I envision You could say, yeah, my company has now 20 employees. We are in 5 different countries and this and that. So it can be really fluffy, or it can be really, really precise. Okay, with some actual goals. What I like to do is to be really fluffy on the ambition. Explaining like what I would like to see from my heart for my company, or for the company of my clients, what you truly want to see there. And then after I translate that into MOS, which is basically measure of success. So how you will measure that your company is successful in 5, 6 indicators. What demonstrate your company is doing well? If you tell me profit, cash, and turnover, yeah, well, but generally this is not what makes a company successful. It's some other indicators. These are just results, your turnover, your profit, and your cash. If you are successful, is that you are doing something else within your company. Is that you're able to grow a pool of customers that are loyal and trust you, refer you clients and so on. You are able to create a services that is really compelling to people. You are able to train people that really love the job, loves you, and loves your customer, and wants to do something out of, and you can incentivize them. So there's really there's a lot of different elements that come to play in your success, not just money indicators. Sorry for the accountants. We do accounting too in ATHENASIA, but yeah. Then after that is your strategy. What you will put in place in order to meet those goals, in order to meet your ambition. Now, I have been struggling on that one a long time, developing my model for ATHENASIA. Is that I realized when I was actually trying to put the ambition, the strategy after the ambition, I realized that actually I was already giving up the strategy inside the ambition. Because if you state what you want to do, what you want to achieve, generally you also explain a bit of your strategy. Okay, let me explain it that. Imagine you have a shop and you sell shoes. Okay, and in your ambition you say, well, within 3 years I would like to also start to sell clothes. I would like to sell, if you sell like your business shoes, you may say, oh, I want to sell sport shoes. Or you may say, oh, I would like to have 3 shops. Or I would like to expand in Singapore. Or I would like, this is really a weird thing. It's the ice making machine. Okay, wow. Okay, so basically you are giving up your strategy as well, because you're already saying, oh, I want to expand in terms of product category that I will have within the business. I want to expand geographically. I want to expand in terms of amount of shops that I have. Or you can even say, I don't want to expand. I want to cut corner and just get back to my basis, get back to my core. Okay. Yeah. After that, we have 4 pillars. So when you have your, maybe let me finish with the strategy. So what I like to put there in the strategy nowadays is more the architecture, is how you will measure the strategy. So I like to use, if we have any business people here, I'll just throw the terms and then I keep moving because we don't have time really. I like to use like strategy map, balance scorecard, and use these for my strategic planning. Okay, so that said, most likely most people don't get it, but it's normal, no worries. It's just if you're in these, so that you know. Now the 4 pillars, like 15 minutes, right?
4 more minutes.
4 more, gosh. So 1 minute per pillar and then the rest. So marketing. So after that, what I like to look at is the marketing. Okay, so what is the marketing? Is marketing and sales. I mix everything into this pillar. And basically it gets back to what our friend Chris, the photographer, right? Yeah, what Chris just said earlier is that the business plan is about your clients, about knowing your clients, about knowing your customer segments, know who you are serving exactly, what kind of people you are talking to. If you just say, I'm targeting entrepreneurs, you're screwed because you will never be able to speak to them. Because entrepreneurs, there are many types of entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. You work with AIA, you are kind of an entrepreneur as well, like you are halfway an employee, halfway an entrepreneur. Elon Musk is an entrepreneur. I mean, who you want to talk to? You want to talk to me, to you, or to Elon Musk, Yeah, well, Elon Musk looks more appealing, isn't it? Yeah, so who is your customer segment? And then after, what is your offering to these clients? And then a bit of planning. I don't have much time to go into more details, but yeah, this is some things that you truly need in the plan, okay? Operations. So operation is always the most tricky part of a business plan when I have to explain it to a group. The reason why is because operations are so different from one company to another. The only thing that is similar, you have stuff going in, stuff coming out, and in the middle something happens. If nothing happens, that means you are useless. So, so you're screwed, because anybody can do useless things, you know. So you have to explain these operations. The things, if you have to go for a grant, investors, bank, whatever, they want to know what's going on there in the operations. So make it simple. Make them understand what's happening in your company, in your operations. The third one is the people. Well, although I'm struggling more and more with that one, there's nobody in HR here today, right? No, okay, fine. I used to be in HR before, organizational behavior and so on. The thing is, what I realize is like nowadays, but you have been in banks, so you saw that before. And it's like people are being replaced by automation and robotization. In the bank, it's called fintech. You know, in the automotive industry, it's called robotization. And basically, more and more people, the labor force is being disintegrated. I think we'll still need people in the future. I think we'll need creative, smart people that can solve problems in the future. But we'll need less and less, you know, huge people structure. Even in my business on the accounting side, I don't hire any accountant. I told you before, I only works with part-time kind of freelancers. And the reason why is because I believe that within 5 to 10 years, bookkeepers will be a thing of the past. So here we are, people. So explain what kind of people you need for your business, and maybe talk a bit about resources. Could you actually automate part of the business? Could you actually use a bit of robotization? But this actually goes a little bit into your operation in a certain way. So it's always a bit tricky to have a clear cut between the different pillars. The fourth one is the financials. In financial, we'll find accounting. So depending on whether it's a small plan for a personal trainer, for example, it will be good to have a small P&L, you know, knowing like the revenues that he will have, the cost he expected, the cash he will need, etc. It can be as simple as that. If you work with a bigger company, you need the 3 financial statements, so the balance sheet, the revenue statement, income statement, and the cash flow statement. Okay. You can also calculate there your break-even. So the break-even is the time your business stops losing money and start making some. Okay. Hopefully, sweet time. I won't go. Maybe one day we should make a special break-even. You asked me before, but anyway. And then, well, that's about it for the finance. You could actually put a bit of ratios there, depending on your size, depending on your purpose. But I won't go into the details today. I want to show you the structure. I'm already overrunning, right? So after that, you go into the boring. You go into Caroline. So it's all the pile of legal, administrative, and compliance stuff that you have to do for a company. Caroline is totally not boring. It's her business that she said is handling this boring stuff. Okay?
I think it's actually pretty interesting.
Liar. It's fascinating. Everybody loves it. You know? Yeah. So, well, there are people that really enjoy these things. You know, I'm sure.
I'm a lawyer by training, so I have to enjoy these things.
Yeah, you have to. So yeah, so it's all the legal things such as, you know, patent, trademarks, the kind of company structure you will use. It's also anything related to insurances, license. We talked about SFC before. Mister, you say your company has all the licenses for SFC. Well, here we are. So this is all there. And then the last part is the investment, which might interest you here. Is basically where the money will come from, and potentially what might be the exit, okay, of your business, or the investor that will actually put money there. Now, to be honest with you, my company has no exit strategy. I don't really plan to sell it or whatever. I just enjoy to do what I'm doing. So you don't always need to have an exit. An exit for companies like mine, or people that have a company like mine, might be how you avoid paying too much tax and get your money out of the business, from the business to your pockets. This is a kind of an exit strategy in a certain way, but it's not what the exit strategy most of people think of. Okay? If you're a startup,
in this specific case, when you have it in your pocket, you go to see this gentleman, and they can manage the exits in this kind of way.
No, they see how to make it bigger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So No, because the exit is more the me or the gentleman that was here before. It's how you avoid paying too much tax. So it's more an accounting thing. But then after they manage your stuff there. Well, if you don't agree with me, we can discuss after. Maybe you can teach me something. So investment. So yeah, that's about it. By the way, if you are a startup, don't put IPO in your exit strategy, please, because you will look like a dumb person, okay? Because yeah, you need to have a first proof of concept first, show that your business makes money. Then maybe the second plan, you show what's the path to IPO. But you can't really forecast that when you start a business. And I'm almost done. Am I? Yeah. So that's it. Finally, that's my last slide. After I don't even conclude. So finally, one thing that many people forget when they create their business plan, because they are so sure that this is the best business ever and they will be successful and that nothing can actually stop their path to growth and success, and they will be the next Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or whatever. They forget to look at risk, and they forget to mention them, and because of that it's reduced their own credibility as well. So when you do your plan, question yourself, be the devil advocates. Why? What is the prime in the business plan? What are the assumptions I have been taken within the analysis, within the planning, and how can I mitigate those risks? And then after that, you can actually review the plans again until there is less and less and less risks, or you have contingency plans for those risks. And basically, I'm done.
Thank you.